At the end of any sadhya, you end the sadhya with Payasam or Pradhaman. This Onam season, I'm going to show you a Parippu Pradhaman or a Parippu Payasam. You can make it with Chana Dal or Moong Dal. I'm going to mix these two together and then make it. I'm going to use 1 cup, so half cup of Moong Dal and half cup of Chana Dal. Let me show you the detailed steps in this video. I'm using the Chana Dal and the Moong Dal. I'm going to mix it. This is 1 cup, half cup Moong Dal and half cup Chana Dal. Washed it nicely and it's dried. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ghee and going to fry this little bit. 7 minutes now. It's slightly turning to brown, but I can really smell it, so I'm going to turn it off and going to pressure cook this. So to this I am adding 3 cups of water. While the dal is getting ready, I'm going to melt some jaggery. So you can see this is a 907 grams 2 pounds packet. I'm going to use half of that, like around 400 grams for 1 cup of dal. So let me melt that with 1 cup of water. Let's start preparing the payasam. I'm adding another tablespoon of ghee. To that I'm adding the cooked dal. So you can see it is almost 75-80% cooked. Now stir this for a couple of minutes. You can see it's not completely dry, it has a little bit of water. It's been a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to add the jaggery syrup, 450 grams. Stir this. Now this needs to cook in this syrup for a little bit. So I'm also going to add the cooked sabudana, sago. I showed earlier in the pasta payasam how to do it. This is 1/4 cup of sago cooked in 1.5 cups of water. So I'm going to add that also. Stir this for at least 5 to 7 minutes before we add the coconut milk. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we will add the coconut milk. So the traditional way, you add 3 rounds of coconut milk, the third, the second and the first thick creamy one. But since we are not extracting fresh coconut milk from the coconut, I'm just going to add 1 can. That's 13.5 ounce can of coconut milk, same amount of water. The same amount of water. So now boil this, stir this well, and it has to reduce a little bit. You can see the payasam is getting ready. It's almost 20 minutes now. I want to give you a tip. If you don't have that much time to cook this thing, you can reduce the amount of water, but the more you cook in this coconut milk, the tastier it is. So I like to use the whole amount, but as a time saving tip, you can reduce it to half can. This is thickened. One other thing I want to tell you, if you don't want to use the coconut milk and water, you can add just 2% milk. In the end, as usual, you add half a can of or 1 cup of coconut milk, thick coconut milk. So that is also fine. So this is again same amount, 13.5 ounce can. I'm going to use around 1 cup, that's 8 ounce, little over 8 ounce. So I'm going to add that. Once you add it, then you don't need to boil it too much. So let's mix this now. You can see this is bubbles coming, so I'm going to turn it off. A teaspoon of cardamom powder, but I like the flavor of ginger, so I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger powder too. Now mix this. For the final garnishing, you can dry some cashews and raisins. 1/4 cup of raisins. You can see it's bubbled up. See? So I'm going to put this in the payasam. Like I said, if you have nuts, feel free to add that too.